What's up, everybody? Happy whatever day it is today. This is going to be my last G.I. Joe classified unboxing for the foreseeable future. I've kind of gone to the well as much as I can and found all of the characters I really want at a price point I really want up to this point. So there are still some guys that are available right now, but their prices are high. There's still some guys that haven't come out yet, and I don't know when they're going to come out. So for now, this could be the last one for quite a while. So we better enjoy it, right? So we got 5 characters today. Well, kind of 6. You'll see what I mean by that. 4 Joes, 1 Cobra. Let's get right into her. First guy up, Stalker. Stalker was one of the very original Joes. His original character was released in 1982, one of the original 16, I think it was. And he, like, when you think of the original Joes, you think Duke, Snake Eyes, Scarlet are kind of the main ones that come to the forefront because they're such popular characters and they get so much attention. But then you get some of these guys that are still popular, but they don't get the airtime that these other guys do, like Stalker, Rock and Roll. Who else was in there? Grunt, and a bunch of other people as well. So this guy was like original G.I. Joe team. His real name is Lonzo Wilkinson. He is from oh shit, now I forget where he's from. Detroit, Michigan. He was originally a ne'er-do-well, was in a gang, and was actually became the gang leader. So he was used to wanton physical violence and also controlling a bunch of uncontrollable men. So when he eventually saw the error of his ways and was done with the gang life, he enlisted in the army. All sorts of specialties. A lot of these G.I. Joe guys all have these various specialties. They aren't just one thing. But he ended up becoming a ranger, was his specialty, and also he was responsible for, Duke was the leader of the Joes, but Stalker was kind of one of those next guys up in terms of leadership and stuff like that. So, and he was understanding, but also kind of no nonsense at the same time. You know what I mean? So, kind of the voice of reason in a lot of cases. And yeah, happy to add him to the shelf because. Yeah, like I said, one of the original joys. Well, he does bring me joy, but one of the original Joes. So to put him up there next to Duke and Snake Eyes and Scarlet and Cobra Commander and stuff is he's gonna look good up there. And I was looking at him for a while, but something about his face mold, I didn't like it as much as I thought it could have been better. So I was like, I'm only gonna get him if the price is right. And then they dropped him to like I think it was $25 or something like that, and I was like, sold. So that is Stalker. Next up, Doc. Doc is another one of the very early Joes. He wasn't part of that Sweet 16 in 1982. He was the next year in 1983. But he is one of those very first original G.I. Joe members. His name is Carl Greer. He is from somewhere in Massachusetts. I want to say Concord, I think it is. And so he is a full-on doctor. He went to Harvard, I believe it was, and then did his internship at that Johns Hopkins place, which is a world-renowned medical center, I do believe. I hear that name all the time. So he's a legit doctor, but he's also a pacifist. So it's kind of weird to see him on the G.I. Joe team being a pacifist, and whereas they're always fighting all the time. But he saw the good in what the G.I. Joe team was doing in helping to protect people around the world from evil organizations like Cobra and others. So he's like, I can work with these guys and keep them up and running and help them do what they got to do to keep this world safe, sort of thing, right? So he is trained in various areas of being a G.I. Joe, like combat, infantry, that kind of thing. But he only fights if he has to, if he's given no other choice. His main role is to make sure people are all good. You're not going to die. You're healed. You're healthy. You're good. To get out there on the field, he's going to take care of you. Doc. Next up, this guy was a favorite of mine back in the day. Beachhead. So Beachhead is He was a later Joe. He wasn't released until 1986, I do believe. I don't have either of their original characters, but I do have Beachheads. And like you can see, like he's got a really weird like green balaclava, camo pants, a weird vest. He was a very interesting looking character, but his character personality was also very interesting. So his real name is Wayne Sneeden. He's from Alabama, and he basically he was a ranger like Stalker, but he ended up becoming the Joe's drill sergeant because he doesn't take laziness well. So if people, he's the kind of guy that's up at 4 a.m. going for a 10-mile jog before other guys are even up out of their bunks, sort of thing, right? So he's like, let's go, let's go, let's go. So it makes sense that he's the drill sergeant. So he wants to see everybody succeed and, well, be the best you can be, right? Isn't that the Army slogan? So people maybe have the wrong impression of Beachhead because although he can be an ass and he's always on people about, you know, getting the most out of them, sort of thing, and he's sarcastic and kind of condescending the way he talks to people and stuff like that. He also has a soft side. He only does it because he cares about the people, but they just don't really see that side of him, sort of thing, right? And also, he's not very well versed in personal hygiene, so people don't like being around him for that reason as well. So just a little tidbit there for Beachhead. Next up, and this is where the 5+1 kind of character thing comes in, we got Mutt and Junkyard. Their characters came out in 1984, I believe it was, and of course Junkyard came with Mutt as a 2-pack. So Mutt is the Joe's canine handler. He's the dog specialist. He grew up with pets. He has a natural affinity for animals. Now, the weird aspect of this is that his personality is really gruff and grumpy. So people often say they like Junkyard the dog better than Mutt the person because he's such an ass sometimes. He's of course he takes care of Junkyard and he is the animal expert on the team. But of course he is trained in infantry and all that other stuff. And I have his original toy. I believe I made a playground trade for him with somebody. I can't remember who I gave up. He must not have been that important to me because unlike my Transformer Blitzwing trade that I did for was it Broadside I got for Blitzwing? I still remember and regret that trade. But this one I don't think I regret because I don't remember who I traded for him. But this one I had to wait for a while. You know, it's crazy how much the price goes up from like the normal 30 to 35 range for a normal G.I. Joe classified figure up to like $60 just because there's a fucking dog in there as well, right? So I had to wait for this one to drop to a more reasonable range before I could buy it. But he was always on my radar because I really like these two characters. So happy to add him to the shelf. Last up, the lone Cobra of this haul. A generic guy, the Cobra Eel. So Cobra Eels are basically the answer to the G.I. Joe's Torpedo character. And who else? Deep Six, I think, was the other underwater guy. And I have his original character. I was hoping, or no, sorry, Wetsuit. That's who it is, Wetsuit. So I was hoping he would come up, but I haven't seen him yet. So again, there could be more options down the line. I can't wait to find them, but for now, I just got to be patient. I'm all out of patience. But anyways, the Cobra Eel. The Cobra Eels, just like with the Cobra Trooper, it's a generic guy. This guy doesn't have a name. They had hordes of these guys. So basically, the Cobra Eels are underwater specialists, and they are trained in every aspect of being an underwater specialist. Demolitions, underwater combat, underwater structural engineering, underwater geology. Whatever happens underwater, these guys know about it and know how to deal with it. So again, more cannon fodder for the Joes, just like the Cobra Troopers. But yeah, I really love the water. Like I mentioned this before, I love swimming. I love boats. I love everything about the water. So whenever there's like a water themed character with their masks and their tanks and their harpoon guns, the eel wasn't on my radar initially until I saw him, and he was very heavily discounted. So I'm like, oh, well, for a water guy, of course I'll get him. So that's why we're introducing the Cobra Eel. But anyways, those are the 5, 6 characters I got this time around. The last of the bunch we're going to have for a little while. Maybe a long while, who knows. But let's enjoy these guys. Let's get them out of the box, snap some pics, see what they look like, and then wrap this baby up. Alrighty, so we're going to start with Stalker, or Sergeant Stalker, as he's also known. Son of a bang, son of a boom. There we go. And you can see there's 3 of the card back versions in this batch, so those 3 characters are going to come with the little stands we can put them on, which is fantastic. There's the stand. Just take this paper off for recycling. Okay. Stalker's got some decent accoutrements, so to speak. There's a knife. This looks like it goes on his back and maybe holds one of his wapundas. Looks like he's got a silenced pistol. Some sort of machine gun. And then a big boy here. You know that's the one I'm going to have him holding when he goes on the shelf. When I was reading about the original Stalker, those first 16 Joes that were out in 1982, they were straight-armed versions. I don't think I have any of the straight-arm guys, the original guys. I maybe have re-releases once they put the swivel elbow thing in. So I wasn't aware they made straight-armed ones. There is Stalker, looking pretty good. His little cap can come off. His little haircut. And look at that face. That's a grizzled vet right there. So there be Stalker. Meh. Feet adjustment. Okay, we'll put his wapundas over with him. Next up, Doc. Doc comes with a cool little stretcher that he can put people on. And it can fold up and then go on his back, obviously, with the little post there. He's got a flare gun, it looks like. That's cool. Looks like he's got a holster for said flare gun. He's got his helmet. That's one of the most iconic parts of Doc, I remember, is always with that helmet on. And he's got some shades. He's got whatever this is. A little pouch with some items in it. And then, whatever kind of gun this is, I'm not sure what that even is. Oh, flat thing. Come on, Carl. There's Doc. And you could always, his uniform was very distinct too, that kind of light brown color. There's not too many guys that have that color. Dusty, maybe the only other one that's kind of in that range. So he was always very easy to pick out of a crowd. Beachhead, one of my faves. Nikes. Mr. Beachhead. Yeah, I think these must be demolitions or something. Little shoulder sack. There's his base. Yep, this was pretty... I remember his weird shaped backpack with the weird thing on it. I don't know what that is. Oh, a crossbow. I don't remember him having a crossbow, but... Ow, Jesus. Uh-oh. Some of that original G.I. Joe Army Green classic. With a gun. He comes with a silenced pistol like Stalker did. Well, they're both Rangers, right? Maybe that's a thing. A couple of grenades here. I don't know if they're... Look like they're maybe either smoke or flashbangs. Whoa. Okay. That thing got away on me. Oh, this tape. Okay, there's a knife with a green handle, and then a knife with a black handle. Oh yeah, he came with a lot of stuff. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can see these three characters so far are all very distinct looking, right? And Beachhead's got stuff all over him. He's a walking arsenal. There is the Beach. What a beauty. He's going to be a great addition. I can't forget that that grenade went flying over there. This one I've been excited about, to get these two out. Ooh, lots of stuff here. If it wasn't for trying to get these things out of the packages, these videos would be a lot shorter. Ah! I brought my scissors just in case. Man. There we go. Knife. There's his helmet. He's got, I guess, total of 4 different hand options. All right, probably just for giving options to the dog, the doggy, the doge. Ugh.
There we go. And he's got 2 different types of goggles, it looks like. And a bandana. He's got a small pistol. He's got a billy club. And he's got this kick-ass machine gun, which, again, obviously, that's the one I'm going to give him. Oh. Beautiful. Even the dog has an extra head. So you can make Junkyard look savage. Ah! Holy God. Oh, Jesus. Or you can make him look like a happy boy. So there's his happy face with the tongue wagging out. And then there's angry Junkyard. Then we got Mr. Mutt. Oh, shite. Whew. What a debacle. And now Mutt's face looks very much like the angry dog's face. So maybe I'll leave them both as just being angry. So there's Mutt and Junkyard. Came with a lot of stuff. I love it. I love accessories. Last but not least, somebody who is quite outnumbered and quite outclassed by the collection of Joes we have. It is the poor Cobra eel. So there's his stand. Oh, shit. Oh, his flippers. Flip, flop, and fly. So he's got flippers just like Torpedo did. He's very similar to actually Torpedo's kit. He's got flippers. He's got same kind of harpoon gun. I think Torpedo had a different colored band. His was yellow, not blue. So yeah, same thing, a knife. So a very similar kit. And then the tank and the mask as well. So there's a knife. There's his tank. It's got these little, what are those, little jetpacks or something to scoot them along? That's pretty cool. The masks are really cool on these like scuba diving guys. I really love the masks. They're so neat looking. And then there is the Cobra eel. Oh, he's got these shoulders that go back and forth. I haven't seen that yet in anybody. Oh, do they all have it and I've just never noticed that? Oh, yeah, they do. Son of a bitch. Huh, the things you learn when you look. So there they all are. Let me gear them up. I'll take some pics so you can see all the shit on them. And then we'll wrap this baby up.
Well, what can I say about this mittful other than awesome? To quote The Miz. Now, for a group of characters that I was kind of holding off on because they weren't some of my first choice characters, like the guys behind me that I wanted more so than these guys, for being kind of the guys that pulled up the end here, they ended up being awesome characters. The detail on Mutt, his outfit, his face, his chest hair, like it's just nuts. And the scars on his face, it just and his uniform looks identical to his G1 figure. Um, like the coloring, the like the exact tone of the color, like everything is spot on. Like the guys did such a fantastic job designing these characters, and then the dog himself. I did one picture alone of the dog so you could see kind of his mean face there. The dog is fantastic as well. I wish they would have more animals. I want to get Spirit and his eagle, but he's still a little pricey right now. The Cobra eel is awesome. I love his little scuba tank with the little jetpacks at the bottom. His when the mask went on, just being able to look through his faceplate there to see his eyes in there, it just looks so cool. This is such a neat looking figure. Um, there's not much to Stalker. He's pretty simple, but his face actually, when I was looking at it in the ads, I was like, I don't know, it doesn't really look that good. But when you see it in person, it's a lot better than it looks like when it's advertised. And he does look like a kind of a grizzled old vet, like just like don't fuck around with me kind of thing, right? And again, the tones of greens in his uniform is spot on to his original character. It just looks absolutely fantastic. Beachhead, again, just like with Mutt and Stalker, the uniform is spot on. He came with so many accessories that I could have put on here, but I only wanted to put on so many. We did have a couple guys fall off the other day just on their own sort of thing. So that's one reason why I don't put everything on them. Simply because if they fall and everything goes flying everywhere, I don't want to lose things sort of thing. And then Doc. Doc I don't have much experience with in terms of the original toy. I kind of know what it looks like generally, but I never had his character. And to be honest, the medical guys I was never that into getting. Lifeline is another guy that was a medic. Simply because they're not the fighters. You always wanted the fighters or the guys that had a really cool gimmick like Zartan where his skin could turn color and stuff like that. But from what I remember of Doc from both the original figure and the cartoon, this is a pretty good representation of him as well. And his was kind of cool because, again, it came with some accessories that were a little different than most other guys, like a flare gun, the stretcher, that sort of thing. These little packs you could put on his thing that hold his medical supplies and stuff like that. So yeah, a little bit different. And then the one thing, you saw me there when I was unpacking them, the one thing that I did discover this time around that I've never noticed is that although the arms can go up and down, the elbows can move, the wrists can move, the whole shoulder can pinion back and forth a bit. And I thought that was something new with whatever character it was I discovered it on. But no, they all seem to have it. So that's another little point of articulation on these toys that just make them so superior to so many other things out there. So I'm very happy with this batch. This 5-6 characters was a lot more enjoyable than I thought. I knew I was going to love them, but I didn't think I was going to love them this much. So can't wait to get them up there. And like I said, the next batch of G.I. Joe Classified, it could be a long time coming, unless all of a sudden they release a bunch of characters that I've been waiting on, but I doubt that's going to happen. So it could be a while. So just to let you know, this could be the last one for some time. And speaking of the G1 toys, I forgot to put them in the video earlier. So as we sign off here, before the video ends, I will show you the G1 toys of all of these characters. So you can have a sense of what those original toys did look like that I've been mentioning throughout this video. So yeah, anyways, hope you have a great week, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Meow.